We live, pal.
We live. First and foremost, I want to thank my beautiful wife for allowing me to be out here because I hear those kids. You know what I'm saying? But I am live, baby.
Shout
You know
out
what
to
I'm saying?
MVIV.
You know what I'm saying? Now
Salute.
she before we get into the podcast, she was like, "You didn't post me for our anniversary or none of that." You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, back it up. You know what I'm saying? You got posted. You know what I'm saying?
It's so crazy how nowadays, if because I don't post none of my girls, I swear to God, but like nowadays if you don't post somebody, like that's a big deal. Like
Well,
it's like damn.
it's a huge deal, man. It's a huge deal. But you know, she clearly that's my love. That's my heart. You know,
No, you married. I mean, you better post that shit.
that's
Shit.
the that's the thing. I'm married. Like I gotta post it. You know what I mean?
I mean, that you got a point. Well, I'm not gonna
Matter of
lie.
fact, I'm about to put it on the Twitter. If you married, do you still have to post?
That's funny. That's funny. That's a good question.
Oh man, so shit.
Listen, man.
That's the prelude, man. We about to get into this shit. But
They
I
be
just
noticing like really quick.
yo,
This damn. I was like, oh, okay.
yo,
Social media really is like important. Like how, like making it official. Like it's like, man, didn't the ring in the ceremony?
and the kids and the mortgage, like that. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, man, it is what it is. I think me, it's not like a thing of like me. It's just a personal choice. Like I think that social media. Our life is our life, but I do get it. I mean, people have
well,
their lives on social media, so they have to share.
and that's the thing too. You know, like this thing of what it is that we do. You know,
Mhm.
the nature and the society that we in. Like I just went today. Segue down to Tampa there and back. You know, and of course the very first thing I do is post. You know why? Cause I got Smoke Dizza, baby, to sign with West Side Gun on the
What's up?
motherfucking. Come on, but that's the nature. We just gotta post it, you know. So I
Mm.
understand, like you
Just
know. So
post it or else it didn't happen. That's the culture we're in.
bro, post it on there. So right now, before this podcast, I want to tell y'all right now, I'm married. Right? And I love my wife. And happy 2 year anniversary
Happy anniversary.
to you and us. Now, with that out the way, 3, 2, 1.
It's simple. It's simple.
Yo. Oh, shit. You know, it's been a while since I don't fucked up on the intro, but you know what it is. It's Idol Most High, my tag team partner, CT, aka Chitty Bang.
What's
And
good?
it has been one of the best Saturdays I've had in a long time. So I'm bringing some really good energy to the podcast.
That's what's
I
up.
am pretty high, so we're gonna see where that goes. And yeah, man, is it's I won't interrupt you. You got the
No,
script. It's the
me. Oh, it's yeah. It's Christmas. You gotta know. It's Chitty Bang, and thank you for joining us here on the Regional Wrestling Podcast. Check us out on all the medias associates, RW Podcast One. Check us out on YouTube if you're joining us here on live. Thank you very much. Glad to have you here. Leave your comments in the comment section. Um, Thank you to all those on SoundCloud, Apple, who are listening to us on our audio versions. If you haven't caught us, check us out there. Follow us there as well.
yeah,
And
we on all those. You know, I
all
know they shut
those.
down. they shut down Google Play, but shit, we there too if you still got it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like,
We wherever you can get your podcasts, essentially, wherever there's an RSS feed, essentially.
come on.
Yeah, and obviously, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff is Regal Wrestling. So just search us and follow. But yeah, we're here to not talk about the media's associates. We're here to talk about the week that was in professional wrestling. And let's get right into it. Listen, we're in WrestleMania season. Things are gearing up. Things are ramping up. We're about what, 3 weeks or 2 weeks? What, 3 weeks? 2 weeks? What is it?
No,
I know we're on a Saturday right now.
We're about a month,
Yeah,
about 3 weeks away. About 3 weeks away.
3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks. So with that being said, we got main events, and we all know one of the main events is Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. And on night one, we do not know what the main event will be. A lot of people just assume it has to be Rhea Ripley and Charlotte, right? Well, hey, the guy on my shirt right here and his brother has something to say about that, and honestly, they kind of predicted this. They had a clip going out around the surface of her surfacing that they were asking a question to him. I think it was Chris Van Vliet or something. Hey, do you think there could ever be a tag team WrestleMania main event? And they said for sure. And if it's going to happen, it's going to be with us in it. And I think this is the perfect year for that to be the case. It should be the Usos, Jay and Jimmy versus KO and Sammy in the main event of WrestleMania Night 1. They both deserve it. All four of those guys deserve it, along with Solo. I think what they have built to this point, everything with the bloodline is warranted of a main event angle, I think, and it feels like it. You see that pop on Monday when Jay finally comes out. So it's Jimmy versus Sammy. Jay comes out. As soon as people see him, people are cheering. Spotlight's on him. Unfortunately, he distracts his brother. Sammy hits it with the Lulu kick, pins him. Game over for Jimmy. He was supposed to take Sammy out. That was his task. Take Sammy out before Friday.
And now it's damn, my bad. I'm sorry. I had a window open. Go ahead.
It's all good. Take Sammy out,
which is true.
Take Sammy out before Friday. That was his job, Jimmy Uso. However, he wasn't able to do that. That night, Sammy got away, and then you have this moment where you almost believe that Jay is about to leave his brother hanging. He grabs him by the chest. He's looking at him in his eyes, almost tearing up. Man, the freaking acting ability of Jay Uso in these moments that I've seen over the past 6 months has been incredible. But yeah, he goes out the ring. Sammy's out there waiting. He goes up to him, listen, I trust you. Gives him a hug, and it's the biggest pop of the night. The whole crowd goes nuts. They're like, oh my God, he's going to actually choose Sammy over his brother. The devastation you see on Jimmy's face in the ring when he's like, wow, my twin brother just betrayed me and the bloodline. And I'm going to get my head getting taken off on Friday. Roman told me, if I don't bring my brother on Friday, it's my head. It's my ass. And then there's the gun, the super kick to Sammy, and they're about to pounce on him, and that turn right there, that shift of emotions real quick is another impactful moment in this angle that just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And then you get his explanation on Friday. He's saying, listen, man, I didn't want to do it, but Sammy, you're selfish. This is my brother. This is family. And you're not family, you're not blood, and you're not going to be. I think that Roman's mental manipulation has, reared his head again. He wouldn't have done it if he didn't threaten his brother, which brings us all the way back to the Hell in a Cell match where he choked out Jimmy. And that's the only reason why he acknowledges the childhood truth to begin with, is for the sake of his own brother. So all this deep storytelling that I've craved and that we all crave in wrestling, I think warrants, and we're getting now, I think warrants the main event spot. I mean, why can't a tag division match be the main event if people are actually tuning in because of this angle? That was the main event of Raw, and that's why people tuned in to find out what's going to happen. That was the main event of SmackDown. That's why people tuned in to see what's going to happen, because of this tag team angle. Rhea Ripley and Charlotte has no steam. It's going to be probably going to be a great, fantastic match, but it has zero steam towards WrestleMania, and that's my argument for these Usos, the best tag team in the world, arguably, versus KO and Sammy, main eventing night 1 of WrestleMania.
I honestly can't. I honestly can't disagree. The story is hot. For everybody who has tapped in and watched wrestling. If y'all here to get a recap, Chidi did a great job of letting you know. But if you are up to date and are abreast and here to kind of hear our take, our thoughts, our opinions, it's hard for me not to echo what you're saying. One of the things that I do have to maintain, even though that when you get more information, you can change your thought process. This particular angle or this particular story within the angle, because this whole one angle is Roman's angle, right? Roman is the truth, right? So this tentacle branch or this branch of the story is part of it. So I would say that Jay storytelling is immaculate, right? Like Jay is the glue to it all, to be honest.
Really true. That's facts.
Like everybody falls in line with Jay emotions, Jay's temperament, Jay's tone, Jay's mentality. Like Jay is main event Jay. You know what I'm
Right
saying?
hand man for the reason. That's
Right.
what he
And
called
and
him.
and honestly, because look at it, when Roman isn't involved, who is the storyline main driver? It's Jay. He is literally next in line to continue out the story. Roman isn't there all the time, right? He's there enough where we don't, but but when he isn't there, the centerpiece of the story to keep it together, to have the continuity, to get it from week to week, is Jay. So I would like for that to be honored. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, it is one of the hottest, if not the hottest story in wrestling. Um, and I do want it to be commemorated as such. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what I will say to this is that to throw on my cape
Do
during
your thing.
Women's History Month, I will say that um, looking at the card, there are some really prominent women matches that's going to take place, right? We got Bianca and Asuka. We have Charlotte and Rhea, which you say has no steam. Yeah, but it does have a story. It's more than what we have for Bianca and Asuka, right? You know what I'm saying? Which I think the anticipation of that match is more anticipated than Charlotte and Rhea, and that one has more of a little bit of a cushion to boosters to get us there. You know what I'm saying? And then we have the 6 woman tag that's going to happen between uh, Trish and the new women tag team champions that we kind of briefly talked about last week of
Becky and
Lita,
Lita.
Lita and Becky, which I think every woman involved is living out a literal dream, right? It
Absolutely.
is it's the proverbial dream come true. I mean, Bailey's favorite wrestler is Lita. Io Shirai Moonsault is based off of her infatuation with Lita. I mean, Trish and Lita are what kind of revolutionized
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
the
absolutely.
women's evolution, right?
Uh,
They were the ones that were undeniable that rolled over to the women now having a cultural effect of being quote
the
unquote
first women's to main event Raw ever, and then without them, we don't get a Becky, the man moment at WrestleMania, and I think I think that's a special thing to have these women in WrestleMania this year, absolutely. But I think going into Becky's, run and that main event with her, um, Ronda and Charlotte.
She broke her face. She was champion. She had
the
title.
It felt like this bloodline angle where it's like the steam is behind it, and it made perfect sense for her to be the main event. You know, and I know it's Women's History Month, and I would love for the woman to have as much steam, but we're looking at this objectively. Come on. Let's be honest. Like, the matches are great. I can't wait to see the 6-woman tag match. I cannot wait to see Tristan and Lita back at WrestleMania against Damage Control. I'm a huge Io fan. She's probably one of my top 5 wrestlers of the year. My top 5 favorite wrestlers. Not saying top wrestlers of the year. My top 5 favorite.
Yeah, we doing top 5s right now. Top 5.
No. That's not the power rankings.
Power rankings. We're doing power. Is Io in your power rankings right now?
She's not in my power rankings. No, she's my. I'm talking about favoritism, like just personal favorites.
Okay.
Io is one of my personal favorite wrestlers in the world. Just when she's in there, I think that she's super slick, and I like the way she wrestles. So, her in WrestleMania with Damage Control, Dakota Kai, love her, Bayley, all 6 of these women, I can't wait to see. Rhea and Charlotte is going to slap. It slapped with no fans in the arena, you know. So I know it's going to be a great match. And then we got Asuka and Bianca, who have they've wrestled this within the past year twice, you know. So we've seen this match before, but we're still excited because now it's on a grand stage. And with all that being said, the matches are great, but the angle does not compete with the tag division and what they have potential to do at WrestleMania. If you open with the Usos and Sami and KO, it just kind of like, damn, already? Like, all right. It kind of feels like the night is a little less special than main eventing with them. You know?
Damn, already?
Well, I would feel that way.
I would probably say this in combining what you're saying. What's your opener?
My opener?
What's your opener? Who's hot?
That's a good question. Let me think.
Because that's a real. We talking about production, right? And we talking about.
It might be Bianca and Asuka. Get them going. We are excited to see that match, and it's gonna slap. Give them a good 30 minutes to start the show.
Okay. Yeah, because Charlotte and Rhea gonna bore us the fuck out.
Damn.
No, do not give them niggas 30 minutes to start no damn.
I think that with Bianca and Asuka, I think it's a good opener match.
Yeah,
they're gonna slap. You know, they're gonna be some stiff shots. We're gonna see some power moves. And Bianca closed the show last year? Year before.
Year before in Tampa.
All right, so yeah. So
year before Tampa,
before that, yeah. So I mean, if Bianca's opening, I would love to see what she has a plan for her entrance and all that, and Asuka's entrance. Let's go, you know. Other than that, you could possibly. I'm not. You can't open with Logan and Seth. You can't open with Ray and Dominic. No, you can't open with those things. You got to open with like probably the women this year. And then down the line, I would give Rhea and Charlotte on night 2. You know, and that's what I would personally do. You know, I would go there, and then obviously Roman.
You said what?
Rhea and Charlotte night 2 opening.
I thought you meant closing night 2. I'm like, oh no, we know.
Nah. You know,
okay.
We all know what's going to close night 2.
Right.
Yeah. You know, I don't want to put them in the middle of the card, but I'm not.
Cody winning? Yes or no?
Cody?
You winning that Mania?
I think so. I think it's time. I think that all the stars are aligning perfectly for him. I think from last year to where we are to this year, it just is too perfect of a storybook ending. And you know, especially with everything going on with the bloodline, it being so hot right now, this is the moment where it should crumble. Everything should crumble down. And night 1 main event should be the first shot taken with the tag titles, you know, being defended. And the bloodline owns wrestling right now. Let's be honest right now. They are the hottest thing in wrestling, period.
Yes.
And WrestleMania, they own this WrestleMania. Let's hand it to the Anoa'i family, the Usos, And you guys are main eventing both nights, Roman. And then we got Cody Rhodes, Sammy, and KO who also deserve it. All six of those guys deserve it. Then you got Paul Heyman, one of the, like Paul Heyman said himself, we got the goats, and the goats. He's a goat manager. You got the goat tag team, and you got the goat enrollment. At this point, this is where we make our mark as an NY family running WrestleMania LA. However, they're going to lose and drop the title to leave way for a new story being told going forward to next year.
All right. I can dig it. I can dig it. So we got so speaking of that, you talked about Jay coming on Monday, pause, and doing what he did. That led to what happened on Friday, where he explained himself. So on SmackDown, our homie Jay came out with his brother and essentially told the same story of what you said and more an extensive and elongated fashion, and said, "Look, man, I did this for nobody else but my brother. Like, you want to know why I did it? You want to know why I chose my brother over you, Sam? I think you cool, Sam. I really do. But all you had to do was fall in line like everybody else. I bit my pride. I bit my tongue. Hell, nigga, I got a t-shirt from him. Just like you, nigga. You supposed to stay down. You know what I'm saying? I got the right-hand man. I got main event Jimmy. Main event Jay. I got all these fucking... Because, listen, I did some shit I ain't want to do, but I did something that was bigger than me. And, listen, if you're in the game, it's usually how it happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're in a family, if you're in a...
true. You know what's funny about this whole thing? And what...
You know what I'm saying? You get down, nigga.
You know what's funny about this whole thing? And what your opinion right there, like your take on that, what's so good about this storyline is there literally isn't an argument, if you want to make it, that Sammy's kind of the heel. If you really think about it from a certain type of lens, if you can really look at it from that, if you can find it. I mean, obviously he's an endearing babyface, but he didn't necessarily, they didn't go out their way to, like, fuck Sammy up or nothing like that. They invited him in, and he was selfish. If there is an angle you look at it from their point of view, that we gave him every opportunity to be down with the gang.
Well, and Sammy also, like, yo, but like, listen, that's like, bro, this is white privilege right here. You know what I'm saying? This nigga Sammy think that just because he's nice and just because he does, hey man, why you being so mean to me? Bro, you ain't blood, nigga. You wasn't born in this shit, bro. You don't get the original motherfucking tattoos on you with the needles in the motherfucker. And then you not down. You just, bruh, you barely allowed to bring shit to the barbecue. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't trust you really like that, nigga. You might bring Chet soda and motherfucker over here. You might have raisin in your motherfucking potato salad, nigga. Like, we don't know what you got going on in your face. You know what I mean? So, like, you need to do what you told to do.
But then we have
white privilege.
On the flip side, he did sacrifice himself for the Usos and Roman numerous times, to the point where he even sacrificed his best friend at War Games. So that's why this angle is so good, because everybody has a freaking justified.
Listen,
like, there's no just.
I listened to Benny. That nigga said, I sold dope to a crackhead mom. And why did I do it? Because I'm a social worker, nigga. Meaning, you do what you do to do what need to be done. You know what I'm saying? Niggas sell hand-to-hands to their family member because, hey, my dope better than the nigga down the street. So if you going to buy some dope, you going to buy for me. What I'm telling you is that Sammy needed to sacrifice more. War Games wasn't enough. Jimmy and Jay gave that nigga the chair. He hesitated on Raw when he was hanging over and he almost got disqualified. And I didn't do nothing. Nigga, take that nigga out. Oh, y'all telling the story. Y'all telling the story. Okay, cool. We got the Royal Rumble. Guess what? You didn't have to hit Roman. You could have been like Jay, and you could have went out the ring. You could have been like, I can't do it. You specifically got your hands dirty at the top of the fucking food chain, brother. Nah, you gotta be dealt with, cuz ain't nobody force your hand. Ain't nobody like nigga. You didn't really have no real target on your back to where you had to fear for yourself that I had to strike first before they strike me. Why? You built up a lot of equity. Jay just went to bat for you the week before and gave you and Roman gave you specific instructions. You still ain't following instructions. I don't want to see you. You showed up the very next SmackDown, nigga, hiding and shit. Hey man, and the niggas had to tell you, bro, get the fuck out of here for we get in trouble. What are you doing? This whole time, Sammy just not been following the fucking rules. Yeah, get your ass beat. That's
Yeah, I feel you. I see you, and that's what makes this awesome. I feel like going into WrestleMania, these are the two hottest angles in wrestling, or the hottest angle if you want to talk. It's one because it's obviously the bloodline, but splitting that into two nights, main event, and now also on SmackDown, we had two other potential WrestleMania angles that are our matches that were set. I mean, not necessarily set; they're just teased. So we have the IC Championship. It could be a triple threat between Walter, Drew McIntyre, and Sheamus.
Listen, that is his old name. That is his maiden name.
Gunther,
Talk about his married name.
Excuse me. Gunther, Drew McIntyre, and Sheamus. Apologies, Gunther. And then we got Random, daddy versus son. Which one do you want to talk about first?
Well, I would say first and foremost, I'm looking for my Aaron Continental title. I think my son might have it, to be quite honest.
You just showed it to me. You said that he just showed me that it was signed on live like 2 minutes ago.
No, the IC drink, not the $1 million drink. The IC.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I was looking for because I wanted to show off how Gunther is making that right. You look at that design, you say there's no history behind it. There's no champion who really makes that title special, even though it has the Intercontinental title. Gunther's down the line. We're gonna look at that championship, and people.
I want to see two guys. I want to look at that title.
Who?
Gunther and Shinsuke. Only because Shinsuke was the first to hold it, I think.
I feel you, but what I'm trying, I mean, all right. So the white championship is Honky Tonk Man and Shawn Michaels, right? And then you got the oval joint with the kind of purple back end, and you got Chris Benoit, Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, Rock. Who else had that bitch? Triple H. Like, yeah, that's a, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then what was the championship after that? Because Cody had to make that shit white again.
After that,
no disrespect,
they got rid of it for a little bit.
You know, when they got Cody Luther King, man, he don't make
Cody
nothing for real. You know what I'm saying? But he made that championship white.
Yo, he about to do it again with the main event title. He bringing that.
Nah, he better make it. No, I don't think he'll make it white. But I think
not white.
He gonna change it. Yeah, I think he'll win England.
Oh, that'd be awesome. But yeah, when you look back on it, you're gonna think Gunther for sure. I think Gunther has now stapled himself as the best IC champion for the past decade, man. While all this is going on, to perform at the level Gunther is, to get in, having these matches, having this presence alongside of his boys at Imperium, I think it's phenomenal, man. Gunther has a presence about him that he's no nonsense, takes no bullshit. When he talks on the microphone, when he's in that ring, it's all business. And that's necessary for the Intercontinental Championship. He's talking about being a ring general.
Yeah,
the whole act, general. Yes, the whole act comes together with Gunther, and he commits to the role, and the fighting, the promos. his Imperium, the entrance, the presence. He looks like a general when he comes out to that ring. He's serious, stoic, and he's down to fuck people up and beat them up. So he does it like consistently and has great matches. He can sell too when when it's necessary. He knows how to have a great match from bell to bell. He had Madcap Moss had a banger a couple weeks with him, like which is crazy. I've never seen Madcap Moss look good in the ring. That's the first time. So shout out to Gunther for revitalizing the Intercontinental Championship in a way that I can see Drew McIntyre and Sheamus fighting over the chance to face him, even though they're both main eventers, so to speak. It makes perfect sense because he's the guy holding it. Now, if that was like Ricochet holding the title, no offense, or anybody else, you wouldn't feel as like, oh man, it means a lot to Sheamus and Drew McIntyre to face Ricochet or somebody else.
Well, I think it's also too the feud that Sheamus has already had with.
On top of that, yeah, with Gunther.
On top of that, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree. Yeah, it makes sense.
So with that being said, I guess we can kind of go into Dom and Ray, but first and foremost, before we talk about the feud, let's just talk about Ray the individual. He's the first inductee to 2023 WWE Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying?
With soundboard, you gotta clap it up, man. But
damn,
it's all good.
Yo, I need a clap for the soundboard.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Okay. I could have did something, man. I mean, what I got on the soundboard, you know what I'm saying?
But shout out to Ray, obviously one of the goats. When it comes to Ray, I think honestly, there's an argument that he's one of the best baby faces of all time, if not the biggest baby face of all time. I don't think that he has greatest of all time. I think that he's a guy who's made to garner sympathy.
Yeah,
and not just that, he's one of the most talented lucha libre wrestlers of all time, if not the best of all time. On that,
is the best baby face of all time. That's the. I think so. It's not really another motherfucking baby face. Pure baby face, right? Like Cena's the baby face, but we like, man. The only time Ray was booed was when it was supposed to be Daniel at 30. That's it. Like when it was supposed to be Daniel Bryan coming at 30 at the Royal Rumble, when they said "Booyah," they said "Boo yeah, nigga, boo yeah."
Yeah, I felt bad for Ray, man. They really fucked him up. They put him in a bad position that year.
He tried to come in and do 619s and shit like, nigga, we do not care, nigga.
Yeah.
It was good.
Nah, but for real,
and shit like that. Somebody tossed this thing out of
that's
here.
literally the only time I think we've ever booed Rey Mysterio, for real. But pure babyface, pure white meat babyface that has been a babyface for his whole WWE career, at least. I know he had a little stint in WCW where he's part of the Animals and the NWO Wolfpack. But I'm talking about WWE, his career there. Granted, number one babyface and possibly best luchador of all time at the same time. Well deserved Hall of Fame inductee, of course. Did not know what was going to happen this year, but with that being said, it happening this year. Do you think that this is his retirement? Song. Will it be Dom versus Ray, and will Dom say, "If I beat you, you go away forever"? Is Dom going to end Ray's career?
Well, I will say this. It would be the ultimate passing of the torch. It would be the most pure thing to do. I mean, in the business, quote unquote, like that's essentially what happens. If this is going to be his last match, but if this is going to be a feud, you know what I'm saying, then Ray can win at Mania, or Ray can literally give his son a win at Mania.
Nah, I like the first option. I think this is what we do. You set it up as if it's a retirement angle. You set it up like, hey, If I beat you, you go away forever. Your career is over. And right, like you say, Dom right now is one of the best heels of all time. Dom right now is genuinely a top heel in the company, alongside a couple of people. But Dom is getting that pure heat, bro. So what I'm trying to say is, you build it up where Bray hasn't touched Dom. He's not even laid a finger on Dom. We want to see that so bad that I think that we get to the point where Ray's career is on the line, and then Ray finally gets to put his hands on his son and teaches him a lesson. That's going to be a huge moment for Ray and his son, because I think he makes his money as a heel. And I think that what the fans are waiting for is for this nigga to get his ass whooped. And I think Ray's the person to do it at WrestleMania with his career on the line and defend his career and keep going further and holding on to his you know, and you know, his legacy and holding it and continuing, because I still want to see a Santos Escobar Ray feud down the line. And I think that the seeds of that is being, built. So I think there's a lot that Ray can still do if he's willing to still wrestle. But yeah, you can still wrestle with a Hall of Fame ring. Edge is doing it. Beth Phoenix is doing it. So many people have done it, and I think that he can still do it too. So yeah, let's go. Ray versus Dom, career on the line. And Ray pulls out the victory. But shouts out to Dom, he's killing it on the mic. He's finally found himself, and I believe that, like I said, from day one, we need to do those retros, because I said from day one, this kid is gonna make his money as a heel. There's no way he can even come close to being a babyface with his father's legacy. There's no way. And he's finding a way for him. So I'm proud of him. He's doing great. So this Ray Dom saga, like WrestleMania is where sagas come to end. You got the Bloodline saga, you got the Damage Control saga, you have the Ray and Dom saga, and there's the Judgment Day saga as well, which is all going to come to a culmination at WrestleMania. And the Judgment Day saga is going to be Edge and Finn Balor finally head to head. Where Edge took.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, Edge. No, continue, because I was going to say that Edge took the leadership from him. Obviously, if you guys know, last year. The leadership from Edge. I mean, Finn took. You got it. Finn took the leadership from Edge. Thank you very much. And we've seen them wrestle so many times that I don't know where we go from here, but it looks like we're heading towards a one-on-one match at WrestleMania.
Well, I think where we go from here is honestly just follows the trend of Edge coming back, being taken care of, having feuds that kind of have some substance behind it, right? Came back, babyface, huge pop. Had the feud with Seth, then had the feud with came back, had the feud with Randy, then had the feud with Seth. Now he has the feud with Finn. Guys that can take care of him, guys that matter, guys that have some cachet. And he's had trilogy matches with the niggas. You know what I'm saying? So essentially this would be the third match of them in totality, whether it be a tag, 6-man, or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I think it's a fairly healthy way to kind of move on from this feud.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, but here's what I would like to see: one or two options: a Hell in a Cell match or a TLC match. They use a lot of chairs, concertos, and all that stuff has been part of the angle. You say, listen, it's TLC, tables, ladders, and chairs are legal.
I hear you.
Not necessarily like a ladder match, but just tables, ladders, and chairs are legal, and we go out there, we tear it up. Because it needs some kind of, level up. They already had an I Quit match. They already had a mixed tag match.
But what would be on the ladder?
They don't need to go get nothing. Just table, ladders, and chairs are legal. You win by pinfall submission. That's it. This is a good old TLC match. No hanging contract or nothing like that.
I just said that the nigga got taken care of. You think tables, ladders, and chairs are taking care of Edge and that neck and shit like that?
I think that I think that Edge wants to have a WrestleMania moment. That's what I think. I think that he wants to, do something cool. I think I think Finn Balor wants to have WrestleMania moment. I think he wants to do something cool. And I think those guys are the perfect guy to do it. Now his neck, if he was so concerned about it, he wouldn't be doing everything he's been doing for the past 2 years. Like
No,
he had a hell.
it's different from ladders and tables and chairs. Oh my! Like it's different.
I mean, hey, he's had a Hell in a Cell match. He's gotten hit with concertos. He's got taken bumps, fell. Obviously we don't want to do something like have him thrown off a ladder or something like that. No, we want to have Finn Balor
sacrifice the prince.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be down to do some crazy shit, right? Or maybe he could hit a coup de grace off the ladder. Like that's simple. Not you can still protect him that way.
That's fine. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
So there's a lot of things that I think these guys can do that can make it, for an interesting match at WrestleMania. And that's his specialty, Edge. You want to have a WrestleMania moment? Go ahead. Rather than having a singles match, and it's like, all right, we already know we've seen this before.
That's
1, 2, 3. It's over, and then we're like, all right, what's next? But that's what I would do. What else, man? What else? Oh yeah. Omos, Brock Lesnar, Bobby Bray. Now I know this is revisionist history. I didn't want to end on a bad note last week, but fuck it, I'll do it this week. Bring it up. If you wanted this to be the angles you wanted to book, we had MVP previously reaching out to Bobby, right, and saying, "Hey, let's get the gang back together." He's like, "No, thank you, no, thank you, no, thank you. I'm done. I get it, but I'm not going back to the Hurt Business." You get the Brock versus Bobby match at Elimination Chamber. Instead of Brock kicking Bobby at low blow and having that bullshit finish, it could have been Omos coming out to cost Brock the match. And MVP, saying, "Hey, this is what I can show you. Hey, listen, we got everybody together now." Like, and Bobby saying, "This is not how I want to win the match," and being upset by it. That way, he wins the match. He moves on to Bray. You got Omos and Brock built for WrestleMania, because the build for these two matches are probably the worst built matches for this WrestleMania, and it's unfortunate because it's Brock and Bobby, which, I mean, two guys who are complete, stars who should have more of a better build.
I still don't think it's gonna be Brock and Omos.
He just said, yeah, he agreed to. How you still don't believe it? Everybody, you're not the only one, by the way. You're not the only one that said this.
I don't believe no white man. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe it.
Makes no goddamn sense.
It doesn't. I'm sorry to the white people who listen to the podcast. I'm high too. Listen, this show is brought to you by Smoke Dizzy's Big League. Okay, this is Premium Grand Slam OG, and I don't know if you can see my eyes. You can't because they're closed. Okay, I am smacked. So please, also, I got some what's called giraffe pussy. I mean, come on, man, right? Mm-hmm. So
higher than giraffe pussy.
So white men, listen.
We got it. Let's just move along. We're gonna miss that train completely. All right, so that was my take on Bobby and Brock WrestleMania angles. Do you want where you want to go to next? AEW?
Well, let's spin the block on AEW one time down. And since we celebrating black people right now, shout out to that nigga Will Hobbs,
powerhouse,
the new TNT champion. You dig me?
Shout out to Will Hobbs, man. Shout out to Will Hobbs. Booking Black. Get QT Marshall the fuck away from Will Hobbs. Get QT. I do not give a fuck what he says.
I feel you, but this nigga QT Marshall like Agent Ross right now. You know what I'm saying? Like he led him to Wakanda. You know what I'm saying?
My god!
He helped him out.
See, this is the thing. We take that as like, oh, that's a good thing. Oh, he helped the brother out. Listen,
hold on. I want to stop. Hold on. This is my apology to the white man. Okay, I said I didn't. I said I didn't believe Brock because I don't. QT Marshall said, "You got my word." Now, how many times we done heard a white man say, "You got my word," and we like, okay, man. Listen, but QT came through. He came through.
Fuck QT
So
Marshall.
hold on, no, we not doing that, man. QT got some pull. I don't know. He might get us. He might get us shut down. You know what I'm saying?
No one's shutting us down. First of all, he might. There's the chances he even sees this.
I'm posting
Much
it.
less get us shut down. Fuck, QT Marshall couldn't get us shut down if he got all of his bowling league buddies and his fucking salami mafia, teas, and tried to gather a gang to come on live right here.
I'm not including this because this is bad. I thought you was gonna really rip him at it. You couldn't get it out, man. You could have said if you had your you say your bowl. He looked like Al Bundy with the bowling ball tees. You know what I'm saying? The nigga, he looked like Manu Ginobili with the ball spot in the middle of his head. You know, like it's some things we can say, but I'm not saying that because I'm respecting the man. You know.
Well, you did a better job than I did, so thank you very much. Appreciate you. But listen, I don't think about this guy that much to have a good zinger for fucking QT Marshall. All I'm saying is, Will Hobbs don't need him. He don't need him. No, Will Hobbs do not need no QT Marshall.
He don't need him. I know a lot of people said that Hobbs could have beat beat Wardlow clean. This, hey, want to say it's a story.
Not even clean. He just beat him without QT Marshall. You can beat him dirty. I didn't mind that. Like, you can cheat.
But I hear you. I know I hear you. I do feel you. But this is actually different than the firm, right? MJ, like we forget that shit. The fucking last nigga in the ladder match, niggas come out of mask like Retribution. Then it's fucking Stokely and all these misfits, the Guns and Big Will, Lee Moriarty and Big like what the and then Stokely Hathaway. What the fuck are y'all niggas? These niggas was the real Odyssey, the newer age Odysseys, nigga.
Oddities.
Oddity, yeah. That's what the niggas was, the oddities. Fuck the firm. But this is what I'm saying, like, them niggas really didn't do nothing for MJF outside of like that bullshit. But when Hobbs did something for Ricky, I did something for QT with Ricky, and like this was good fabric. This was good. I know what you're saying. I understand it, but this was good fabric. Sometimes we shit on AEW for not knowing how to close a loop, but this was a really good close loop. I appreciate.
But why QT Marshall, man? Like, where's the connection to this thing?
Which is, I mean, no, back. Okay, so back when Ricky and Hobbs broke up, QT Marshall went to Ricky and was like, "Yo, I can help you out," and Ricky was like, "I don't need your help, nigga," and assaulted him and shit like that. And then that went to QT going to Will Hobbs, and that was like, "Yo, take this nigga out. I got you," type shit. And that's when Hobbs destroyed Ricky when it was going to a feud. And then QT it was months ago, you know what I mean? Because now Ricky been with Jericho for like, I don't know when, you know what I'm saying? But well, nigga, this is 2 feuds ago because Ricky went to MJF first and then Jericho, nigga. So this was like months ago.
Yeah.
The closing of the loop.
Okay, I forgot because I forget everything that QT Marshall's involved in, pretty much. So, hey, I hope I can't forget this Will Hobbs TNT run.
Nightmare Factory with Cody was pretty fire.
Trash.
Yeah, it was trash.
So
absolutely trash. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So we'll see. Hopefully, I don't forget this Will Hobbs run because we were waiting for this TNT title run, and maybe he can just be the heater and he can just take some bumps on behalf of of Will. Moving right along. Looks like, we had a couple great matches at AEW Revolution. One being a 5.75 star match, which is breaking a scale that doesn't matter anyways. But what I took away from this MJF Daniel Bryan angle was that, one, and I told you MJF delivered, and he's a great wrestler, definitely in my top 5 power rankings. And 2, they are building it as, yo, this guy broke him, man. MJF broke the American Dragon. He's crying. He's saying he couldn't feel his arms, he couldn't feel his legs, and he's going home to be a father for his daughter and a husband and his son. So how does this look for Bryan Danielson, his run in AEW? I think he's done a great job because he's had some. He probably had better matches than everybody on the roster consistently, if you count them all. Like every single thing he's done with Hangman, everything he's done with fucking Lee Moriarty, everything he's done up to thus far
Kenny Omega.
has been, huh?
Kenny Omega.
Kenny Omega, yes, thank you. John Moxley, everything he's done has been stellar, great match after great match, but he's yet to win a title, and now he's going home. I think this is great for MJF to have a little notch on his belt that he took one of everybody's favorites and sent him packing. And that's a thing that it's like Paul Heyman says, oh, Brock Lesnar defeated Undertaker at WrestleMania and used that shit and ran with it for like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years with that shit. This is what MJF can do with this. That I took your best wrestler in the world and I beat him in an Iron Man match. And
I'd rather him call himself the Dragon Slayer than the Devil, because I ain't really on that shit.
The Dragon Slayer?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad. The Devil. But yeah, he slayed the dragon. American Dragon's dead because of the, whatever you want to say. And I think that, with MJF, he had a hematoma on his head, bled to his eye, he has a swollen eye now. He went all out. As for somebody who doesn't wrestle all the time, he's a main event champion, and he did his thing, man. So shout out to him. Right now, he is on his reign of terror, and I don't see anybody taking this out off him anytime soon. So I just want to shout out MJF. Also shout out to Bryan Danielson.
You said last week that Adam Cole can take the title off him in the summertime.
That's not soon, man. Come on, you got months and months to that. I mean, if you're talking about,
what do you say, months and I mean,
end of the summer. Like I'm talking about, like end of the summer, not like.
all out in May, I believe.
All out in May. I think. Okay, so. Then I'll wait till early fall, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. That's what I'm thinking, like late August, September type of time. But yeah, I think that MJF until then should be champion, and I think that right now, let him heal up, let Bryan Danielson heal up, and then we got a couple contenders lined up. Kenny Omega, who, if you go watch his interview with, Renee Paquette, he talked about his injuries. Dude was broken, Mel. He had like 5 surgeries he had to go through, but now he's back up. I'm looking forward to seeing him compete for the championship. Hangman, obviously, looking great. Had another stellar match at Revolution, and I believe that he's next in line. But I don't think that none of these guys can take the title off of MJF going forward.
I hear you on that. Hangman beat Mox, and all of a sudden Blackpool Combat Club want to be bad guys.
Yeah, man. Blackpool Combat Club is we're going through some rough times.
We called it. We said that had to,
That's the only option, man. It was only I thought but I wanted John Moxley to go solo heel. But if now they're mad because they got their ass beat and they're just gonna beat people up for fun of it and jump them, I like it. I love it. Go ahead. Like I wanted a heel turn and I got it. I mean Cesaro. Claudio and Yuta didn't have to turn with him, but I guess you ride with your homie and y'all all turn together.
For my motherfucking niggas. I know I'm gonna get high for my motherfucking niggas. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the niggas.
Shout out to the Blackpool Comical. We'll see where that goes. Gives them more feuds to have. They can beat up Darby Allin. They can beat up Jungle Boy. They can do a bunch of different shit now.
Nah, I don't think they're gonna go for the trios titles. Moxley.
Now, is the House of Black, are they baby faces?
Yeah, we love them niggas. Listen, anything black. I'm just a Black House, Blackpool House of Black, Blackpool Combat Club. I'm just black this thing out, dog. I'm gonna take everything. You know what I'm saying?
Black everything, all black everything.
Nah, I like that idea. You know what I'm saying? So, AEW really gave us some. You talking about good matches on Revolution? It gave us some good matches on Dynamite and Rampage as well. The trios match that aforementioned. Uh, uh, we got the Jericho Appreciation Society. Dave Garcia, Sammy Guevara, and Jericho had a match with Top Flight, AR Fox. The street fight of Hobbs and Warlow was really good street
Yeah, that
fight,
was good.
really good match. What else was on the card that I want to speak? Oh, Orange Cassidy and Jay Lethal.
You gotta start giving Orange Cassidy his props, bro. You gotta start giving him the props, bro. You say, okay, it was Judah who carried him. Still a great match. And now he does it again with Jay Lethal, who I was giving Jay Lethal props on the last show. I told you he still can go. So that ROH championship, I mean, he can get at least a title shot.
Nah, I ain't trying to hear the championship, but I'm never going to disrespect Jay Lethal and say he can go.
You already did.
Disrespected is Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. That's what I'm objecting to. Like, I don't know, like that shit gotta go. You know what I'm saying?
Man, so Jeff Jarrett will be getting a title shot, All Atlantic Championship, or they changed the name, right? The International,
All International Championship. When is the international people coming? When Pac had it, we was going all over the place. This nigga, what, you ain't got no passport or something?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you,
you
very
know
much.
What I'm saying? Where's the relationship with the Conan? You ain't got no Mexican niggas you can send over? In New Japan, ain't the Forbidden Door closed? You can't send no Japanese niggas over? You ain't even can get no African niggas to come through and take it? Like, where is the diversity? They just hired from Memphis, Tennessee.
Yo, he had a match against
South Carolina. Like, what are you talking about?
His last like 3 matches have all been Americans. This title, this is why I said, like, yo, why does this title exist? And I'm like, yo, if it's not going to be, and then he's an American himself, if it's not going to be truly a title that's taken across, the pond, or wrestled with people across the pond, or from international stars that may not be a part of the promotion.
I thought Timothy Thatcher was motherfucking England. No, this nigga from like Atlanta or some shit like that. Like this. And this nigga from like Zone 6, nigga.
Yo, he's not England, no. He's from California, yo. Sacramento. It's international, bro. Now we get Jeff Jarrett. The most country nigga. Yo,
the most Tennessee nigga that I ever, other than Yo Gotti, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
the most Tennessee dude. Like, Tennessee, man.
Oh my gosh, man. Yeah, I don't know.
Isn't Tennessee landlocked?
Huh?
Isn't Tennessee landlocked?
I don't know. I don't know, bro. But I'm crying over this nigga just being in America. Like, this not even this. Like, man, damn, nigga, take the shit to Saudi or something, nigga. Like, do something international. Like, what the fuck?
Yo, there's no national, there's nothing about this that gives you any vibes of like diversity or nothing like that.
Interstational, man.
Interstate 95 championship. That's what it should be called.
Interstate championship.
Yeah, the interstate championship. We got Jeff Jarrett, Orange Cassidy for the interstate championship on Rampage. Not looking forward to that at all. Moving right along.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be the time I have to give Orange Cassidy his time. Because I'm not gonna watch the match, but if people tell me that it's good, then I'm just gonna listen.
I was gonna roll with it. Yeah. If they tell me it's good, all right. I gotta give you your props, bro. Orange Cassidy, you all right. You got something at Jeff Jarrett, at 60-year-old Jeff Jarrett. All right, bet. Nah. You wanted to talk about the woman. I'm gonna lead the floor to you.
No, okay. I just listen. We're not gonna end the show on nothing bad, so we not. So I'm just gonna say this. I don't know why the Outcasts are a thing. Okay, first and foremost, no. Shout out to Rio and Nyla Rose for having a really great women's match on Rampage. That's where we're gonna start. That was a really good match. The very first two AEW Women's Champions, the very first main event of Dynamite. Or I'm sorry, excuse me. The very first match of Dynamite, if I'm not mistaken, was the main event of Rampage. It was a really good show. From a really good show. So I do want to say that was a great match. Nyla did great at the end to get her heat back and put Rio down. And then after the end of that, the Outcast came out, and they have a gripe against homegrown talent. But what I will say is that if this leads, this is what I'm going to get to the positive part. If this leads to that like cage match, that blood and guts match, right, where we have the Outcast and like another special person that big four, right, and that's a little intrigue. Who's the fourth woman? Who's the fourth woman? I would dig that, right, and then against they have already taken out Riho. They already took out Willow if she wants to be included, and she took out Britt. So if they don't want to include Riho, Willow, because Willow now is involved with Athena with the ROH championship, women's championship, so they can do blood and guts threes. They can have the Outcast of Britt of Soraya, Tony Storm, and Ruby Soho against Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, and Riho. The three originals. I think that would be pretty fire.
3-on-3. I think you should add Athena to that, and then add a fourth one on the other side. To just make it, round it out 4-4.
I wouldn't add it if Athena wanted to be added to like the outsiders, to like or outcasts, outsiders, because that's what they are. I would say that can be a good, Athena.
We haven't seen her on TV in ages. I haven't, at least me, I haven't seen it. I don't watch Rampage that often. But as for me, I'm like, Athena, where's he at?
She's ROH champion, so she's not.
So I don't see her.
I mean, she's on she's Honor Club. You know what I'm saying? Pay that $4.99.
Okay.
They treat Athena like OnlyFans, nigga. That motherfucker behind the paywall, dog. You trying to be like, yo, I'm trying to see Athena. They're like, yeah, we know. Pay the $5, you motherfucker.
Listen, man, I even like that. But I even like that. But I'm trying to see her wrestle. God damn, yeah.
Nah, I can tell you this, nigga. If they fuck around and put Jay behind the paywall, they can have my credit card information, all my data points, nigga. What are you talking about? You think I'm gonna miss that?
Expeditiously.
Nigga, oh, that credit card don't work, you go to the other one. Oh, that one don't work, you go to the other one. We gonna try this out.
But I think that if Jay joins the side of the originals, that'll make this interesting. And then they do blood and guts with the Athena on the other side. That'll be cool. And if you're leading up to that, then yeah, I'm back in. If you're leading up to that match, I'm back in invested with the women's division. Unless you go in there, this has been awful. Oh God, this is awful.
What if Thunder Rosa comes back and joins the Outcasts?
But she's not, right?
No, I don't think so.
She's an original, yeah. She was at the press conference and everything, I think, right?
No,
or maybe not.
I don't know if she's an original. She might have been there from the jump, but I don't know if she's original.
I got it. Semantics over here. I got it. But yeah, if they lead up to that, I think I'll be back in with the women's division at AEW. I don't want to kill every single week. I really don't. But they make it very fucking hard.
Yeah, I think if they can somehow get towards, if they can somehow get towards the blood and guts, and they can have the foursome that I think would make sense. Like you said, like even if it's Athena and Willow, because those are feuds, and the Outcasts are and Ruby Soho's, and like that makes sense. That at the intertwines, like I can get that. Even though Willow's not really an original, but she was an indie. Well, now she's not really, but we wanted her to be signed because we know we knew what it was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think that put her in the match. I don't care. Like it's Willow, man.
Yeah,
love her.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm down. I am down.
Yeah, we love Willow.
Yeah,
Man.
for sure. She fuck around and be Ring of Honor championship. They're gonna have to get my card information too.
Shout out to Willow, man.
Man, so we got anything pressing, booking black, or business?
Well, moving along from AEW because there's really nothing more to speak on there. We do have John Cena and Austin Theory WrestleMania set.
Yeah.
And that should be a decent spot for Austin Theory to possibly get a big win. John Cena looks like he is feeling like his run it might be completely coming to an end. He seemed very emotional when he arrived in Boston. He's coming to that stage where he's getting too big for showing up at an arena, getting his T-shirt and jorts on, and when he has other obligations. The same reason why The Rock is at not WrestleMania. These guys are very fucking busy in Hollywood. And for John Cena, first of all, to make this commitment to be here for WrestleMania for Austin Theory, shout out to John Cena for being here for us, the fans, and for John and for Austin Theory and for the business in itself. But when I see him get that emotional, what I feel like is, he's coming to the end. Like he's not going to be wrestling ever again, kind of thing. He might come like sparingly for like a spot on Raw. Like Stone Cold might come, but I think that those WrestleMania moments with John Cena are coming to be like might be the last one, or one of the last.
Honestly, I'm not gonna hold you. Like that's been akin to Rocky and Cena, right? When the feud was what it was, once in a lifetime. But then at the end of the day, Rocky knew that he did the same thing. He would come, he'd get the emotions. Goosebumps. And then when he said nigga for 6 years, like, you know what I'm saying? That's because these judges paying me $20 million.
Yeah.
A movie. You know what I'm saying? I get some, I'm an executive producer on some of these joints, get some crack, get some back end royalties. Like some of this shit just honestly like the progression of $7 production.
Evolution, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's the evolution. Exactly. And granted, wrestling gave me that. You know what I'm saying? But when Rocky came back and everybody said, if you smell, and the crowd went crazy, Cena knew that, Rocky knew that Cena was that, right? Passing the torch. You know what I'm saying? Because that was the same thing with Hogan and Rock. You know what I'm saying? When niggas said, bam, 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 that was in giving the Rock. And we are seeing right now that when Rocky gave it to Cena, that is it, bro. That's
it. I did what I came to do. I passed it over.
Yeah,
and John Cena right now is going to be passing it over.
But I don't think this is not the swan sign of Austin. I think his one of his last, I think one of his last matches would be Cody Cena. I think Cody Cena. Once Cody wins the title, or Cena comes back and does a swan song.
SummerSlam maybe.
No, I think there's gonna be years. I think after he has his match with Austin, right?
Okay.
Austin puts over Austin. And I think he comes back sparingly. Like, yes, he's not gonna be there every week. He's not gonna be there every week.
That's done. That's finished.
And I think that he might not be there every every year because listen, that's what Rocky understood. The business is good without me. It's actually boom, right? Cena is looking at it and he's like, yo, finally. Remember last time I tried to take the break and I had to come kill this nigga Roman on the mic? I was like, hey, if you want to take it. Roman took that shit to heart. Now Roman shit is quick, concise, to the point. He even like, what are you talking about, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, he even throw one of those in there sometimes because I get a little bit too comfortable on the mic, you know?
Word up.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, Cena's been looking for somebody, but like, because we were saying like, damn, nigga, gotta be Brock or Cena to get the ratings up. Like, what's going on? Yeah. Nah, we got Roman right now. Cody's doing a really good spot. Seth is doing a really good spot. I think Seth and Cena, or Seth and Roman. I think Seth and Cena or Roman and Cena would be the passing of the torch. I think that will kind of be something that happens later on in the years.
I don't think Seth and Cena is going to happen again. I think it's going to be either Cody. I mean, maybe I think it could. I do think this Austin match could be his last match.
Yo, you know,
I think we've already seen Roman.
No. I'm sorry. You know, it'd be real dope. Solo and Cena.
Why Solo?
Umaga was Cena's one of the biggest feuds ever.
I don't see that happening either. I think that's true. It should be a good throwback, but
not a song. I do see him coming back. Like, if we're talking about threatening leader, right? For me personally, right? Cena can come back and do one of those return things. Solo's now stepping. I'm not talking about right now. We're talking about years now. Solo has stepped into his own. We know who that guy is, right? Solo interrupts Cena, right? And, try to, insert himself like everybody does to get in the legend. Cena and Solo can do something nice, right? Cena can win. Solo take the loss. Cena can win. Throw up the joint. And I think that leads into building Roman getting Cena out the way, Cena raising a hand, passing the torch to Roman, because I think Roman is going to be the guy to carry. I think it's Hogan, Rock, Cena, Roman.
Roman already took it. Roman took it. He's already beaten Cena. Roman is the man right now. Right now, Cena is in his Rocky coming backstage, where he comes back just to, say, hey, what's up? And be a special guest. He's a special guest now. Like, when Hogan came back, he wasn't the man for a minute. He came back to just be that, just for that moment. And this is a moment for Cena, and it's really a moment for Austin Theory. So this is the reason why I think Cena's gonna only have two more matches.
Hogan came back and we're talking about Hogan and Rock at WrestleMania 18 was intricate. Now I can hear you with Rocky came back for the moment. Rocky came back for the moment with Cena. And I think Cena will come back for the moment with Roman.
He's already had that. He's already had a match with him. And to me, that ship has sailed. I think Roman's over it.
I don't think that was the passing. I don't necessarily
he beat him clean at SummerSlam.
That's true. I mean, that was like a No Mercy or some shit like that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm saying. It was like a no mercy. It was like, hold on, what was the last time? Hold on, let me make sure.
They fought twice.
Cause I know they fought like out of No Mercy, and I'm like, nah, that. Cause I know Cena ain't come back for no B show, my nigga.
It was either SummerSlam or Clash of the Champions, and he was already. This was like last year. He was already tribal chief, and Roman was like, "All right, this is all you got." Like, Cena. That was the second time he came back. The first time he cut him up on the mic. Cena cut Roman up on the mic. The second time, Roman was the man, and he was like, "All right, like, what do you got?"
SummerSlam 2021.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
2 years ago.
Damn, I forgot about that match.
Yeah, I didn't forget, man. The torch has been passed, and honestly, Roman took it. He didn't pass it. He just took it. So at this point, I think Cena's in a stage of where he's a special attraction.
So who puts Cena down the pass? Who gets the real rub?
Austin Theory, that's it. He gets the rub, and that's it. Cena's gone. Now maybe Cena will down the line come back to face Cody, like for like a one-off, like when Undertaker and Shawn Michaels came back for Crown Jewel or some shit, because there's a bag in place that they're like, yo, Cena, we need you. Go come to Saudi Arabia with us. We're gonna pay you, $500,000, whatever it is, half a whatever, a couple millions, you know, to get a match with you and Cody and Saudi Arabia. I think that could possibly happen as a one-off. But other than that, Cena's gone. Cena's done. He's old. He's balding. He might come back and give a FU every once in a bit, just like Stone Cold might come back and give a stunner, just like The Rock might come back and give a rock bottom. But they ain't gonna have him in matches and angles anymore. And it's kind of sad to see because he's been the guy for so long, and now even Roman was last year talking about leaving the company, so he's already on his way out. So we got Cody and we got Austin Theory for the foreseeable future until Braun Breaker, Solo kind of like step up to the plate. Carmelo, yeah, Montez, those guys got to step up to the plate. Yeah,
Montez and Austin Theory can be rocking Triple H, honestly.
And I think that we got a couple good guys up in there. So that makes it. Of course, Seth Rollins is like the edge veteran. We got Randy Orton. Hopefully, if he comes back, I'm not sure if he's done because he got a serious injury. But yeah, that's it. Like we got our big stars are leaving to create new stars, and I'm gonna be excited to see how Cena performs at WrestleMania. And I think that this could be a huge opportunity for Austin.
Austin's gonna shine Cena. Austin's really great. And Cena's a really good ring general. Well, Austin's really good. He's a really great sponge.
Oh, absolutely. I didn't buy into that. He's not ready.
We saw the evolve, bro.
Yeah,
like we knew he was one of them ones.
We saw it back then, but looking forward to it. I think it's a good match.
Speaking of new stars,
one quick thing I want to make a correlation because I know we're going to get to new stars in NXT, which is a good take. But you know what Cena reminds me of? Everything that he's doing, that The Rock, he said The Rock was, not supposed to, or he criticized The Rock for. Cena reminds me of Aaron Rodgers, because just like Aaron Rodgers, Cena was calling somebody up that was above him and saying that, yo, you really don't care about this? And then he's doing the same exact thing that he did at the end of his career. And Aaron Rodgers is going to do the same thing that Brett Favre did at the end of his career, and he's going to go to the Jets. I just wanted to just throw that little tidbit in because it's kind of crazy, that parallel, right? It's kind of nuts. Just want to throw it. It's crazy, right?
The Jets haven't done shit in 40 years. Would disappoint. So what I am going to do is allow you to have this moment, because all I do is have history behind my side.
Don't worry, because Aaron Rodgers will be in. Well, I think we got a couple more months, and we got Dallas this year, so we'll see then. Dallas.
You're saying a couple more months, bro? Okay, listen.
I think y'all coming to our house too. So if y'all think y'all really about it, let's see what it is. Jets versus Cowboys.
All I just hope is that he comes there. So your analogy and your correlation can mean so much more than what it does right now. Because I want to say Cena is honestly, listen, you say that Cena's doing something that he criticized Rocky from doing. Cena into his last day was going hard. Rocky was out by Scorpion King. Like let's be dead ass, right? We got 98 SummerSlam, Rock, and then we got 2001 Rock. That's only 3 years. Cause that nigga was gone by 2003.
True.
Right? Because 2002 Rock, he was already come back Hollywood Rock, big buckle. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like he already been gone.
Rock made a big impact in a short amount of time compared to Cena. Cena went hard.
So I would say Cena was like, no, man, they really had to drag me to Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, like I made Trainwreck with Joe Apatow. Like I was doing, you know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't I wasn't no blockbuster movie. Now
Cena
all
was
of a sudden
destined.
I'm a Fast 10 and fucking Peacemaker and shit like that. But my very first movie wasn't Scorpion King. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't, you know, I was damn near the chaperone. You know what I'm saying? Essentially. So, but I appreciate Cena. Because listen, as far as trajectory goes, Rocky did. Batista always was like wrestling isn't the end all be all. But Cena was like, streams of revenue is nice because I spend a lot of money on nice shit.
Nah, he gave his soul to WWE. Yeah.
Cena,
so
Cena gave him a name. He signed the contract in blood, nigga. Like
pretty much. He has equity. Like I don't know, like what's going on with Cena, but he's like a slave to WWE. But in a sense, like I think Cena is destined for this. The Hollywood. He was destined for it. I think if you're the top star in WWE, it's almost gearing you up for Hollywood in a sense. Coming out and commanding a crowd, going angle to angle. Now, is he the best actor? No, he's not as good as The Rock, who can, flip it on. He's not as good as Batista, but I think that he's good enough to garner a reaction when he's on a television screen. It's different, a different feel for sure. But he was destined for Hollywood, and just like Roman is kind of destined for Hollywood too. So, hey, it is what it is.
It is. Speaking again, destined. We got two young studs down in NXT that was destined to cross paths. Now, before we get into that, we want to shout out our brother Wesley. Shout out to what you're doing with that North American Championship. You're actually making it matter. You're actually doing some things with it. Love the Open Championship. We just want to see when something gonna stick. Who gonna make it matter with a few? Who gonna take you there? You know what I'm saying? That's what we waiting on. But what you doing, big bro? Salute to you, big brother.
Wesley Nathan Frazier slapped a couple of weeks ago. That was a banger. But he does need more competitors, like legit, and an actual story behind it. Or if it's just, hey, listen, somebody's just a super athlete just like he is, and it's gonna be a great match. Throw it out there. I want to give Dragon Lee. We've been talking about it. We've been saying like Dragon Lee and Wesley at Stand and Deliver would be dope. So let's pray and hope that open challenge is answered by the newcomer.
We're gonna have a Lee off.
Lee versus Lee.
Back to the main title. The A title. My nigga Carmelo been calling himself the A champ, and you can't be the A champ without being the A champ. Braun Breaker has been the A champ. We've been asking for him to have some real feud, some real competition, some real challenges to his title. This is the top of the top, right? I know we've been waiting for it for a long time. It took long enough, but it's here. It's at the biggest stage of them all. It's Carmelo, it's Braun. There's no fabricated feud. It's just straight up. Listen.
Top dog of NXT 2.0 or NXT, whatever you want to call it.
Hunter and Sean said, look, y'all two, it. And they were it, right? They were. The Carmelo merged the Cruiserweight Championship with the North American Championship. Had great, phenomenal matches with everybody who stepped in the ring with him. Braun has done what he could with what they gave him. I would say that. Like, I can't say that he has any per se say in what it is he's doing, but I can say he's done a great, because he stays within him, right? And I would say the best thing that you can do in wrestling is master what you are first before you try to character develop in something else, right? So Braun is a dog, bro. He's a Steiner. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be honest, Rick and Scott, as admirable as they were, they weren't Lanny Poffo. You dig? Like you know what I'm saying? Like they weren't they weren't the wordsmiths of their generation, and neither is the Offspring. You know what I mean? But
they weren't the word, like talking about the wordsmith. Oh, on the mic.
Yeah.
They were.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So Braun stays within and the feuds also, right? They have been, but they nobody's ripped off gender. Whoever else, the fucking Grayson Waller, JD McDonough, the number one stunner. None of those guys will ever be Carmelo Hayes. But what I do want to ask is
That
this
being
the
said,
shot that Carmelo misses?
here's what I'll say, because Braun Breaker failed last year at Stand and Deliver. Big time.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening twice in a row. And more so, I think that Carmelo missing is really him hitting the main roster.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to try to say, is that this will be his moment to have a great match with Braun. He doesn't necessarily need the NXT championship because I think he's ready to go. And next night on Monday Night Raw, you have him come out there and he can attack Seth Rollins. Like put him in his feud right away with Seth. Like, I mean, that's what I want to do. See, that's what I want to see. Let's see him go straight to the top, or I don't know, have him compete against Austin Theory, whoever. I just want to see him on the main roster now. I think that stop forcing me to watch NXT 2.0 for just two people. I can't just come there just for Wesley and Carmelo. Let's get both of them. Honestly, I could see get called up to the main roster and get their shot.
I would say first and foremost, Melo comes up with Trick.
I mean, you saw that pick with MVP, so.
Yeah, but I think I want them in the feud with the Street Profits. That's what I was gonna say. It's Omos, MVP, Trick, Carmelo. That's a for you know what I'm saying. And so
If he gets called up, Trick is not coming.
Really?
That's what I don't think is happening. I think Trick is gonna stay and find his own way. I think that would be cool. I think that Trick has his own character in his own right, but he does feel like the B side to this act, even though he has a lot of charisma. So let's see what he can do on his own. He might be a big star. He might be a bigger star than Carmelo if you give him the opportunity. You never know.
Talking about Trick Willie? You
never know. You never know until you give the guy the ball and see if he can win some singles championships on his own.
I hear you talking, man.
I mean, they always do it where they split the guys up. When one goes to the main roster, they don't. I mean, Legato is the only thing that they brought up, and they still left Carmen with who needed more work, clearly. So I think that Trick, give him that time, and then you got people on the main roster who can cultivate Carmelo into that single star, and then by the time Trick comes up, there's a built-in feud already or a built-in partner if he needs to come in and help him. Like help him win the championship or something randomly.
I like that. Kind of have Trick really be the Big E to his Dolph once Carmelo establishes himself a little bit and become that guy.
Yeah, he establishes himself, gets the title shot, and then Trick comes out of the freaking audience, hits the guy with a fucking whatever,
A Trick Willie kick or some shit.
Trick something, yeah,
a Trick kick. Yeah. Look at this booking Black off the spot.
On the spot, man. Yeah, I think that it's time for Carmelo to come up, and I don't get me wrong, I would like to see him an NXT champion, but I just don't see Braun losing it 2 times in a row and Stand and Deliver. If he does, then I guess he's getting called up. One of these guys getting called up, so we'll see. And I do think that if Braun gets called up, Trick can hold down NXT for a little bit longer, and they're gonna need him to. So there's that. But moving along, before we get out of here, just want to have you over the past couple of weeks, or say a month or so, what are your top 5 people to look forward to going into this week as your, Chris the Most High power ranking? Starting from 5 to your top 1.
I would say number 5, Cody, just because of his suits. That nigga suits. That nigga suits is fire, nigga. He is that nigga Cody. And also, I love the fact that when his motherfucking intro music hit, you gotta wait for that. You can be getting your ass beat.
What?
I gotta hit that wall, nigga. I gotta hit that wall, nigga. And then I can undo the tie and come out. Number 5.
You can get your ass beat. Gotta hit the well.
Gotta hit the wall.
He's like,
number 4. Otis and MMM. I fucking love that shit, nigga. I can't wait to see my nigga Otis and Maxine, nigga.
Okay.
Because one thing Otis love is the women. Okay, that nigga's influenced. Okay?
Yo, Otis, man, he got more game than everybody. Yo, he getting.
He has what the young kids call Riz.
Unspoken Riz.
My nigga got Riz. Otis has some Riz.
Man, shout out to Otis.
Riz.
Okay.
Number 3. Jade in Canada. I don't know who it is, but she gonna be in Canada, so I'm gonna watch. I don't even care. She can wrestle a broom, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? She can be Kenny Omega, wrestle a little doll, and Kota Ibushi, wrestle a little blow up, nigga. I don't give a fuck. That's what I'm looking for on Wednesday on Dynamite. Number 2. Already seen Jay. Don't need to see Jay. I gotta see Kevin Owens on Monday or Friday. He's number 2 in my power rankings of who I gotta see to advance the storyline, because I believe that he's going to solidify these last 2 to 3 weeks heading into WrestleMania, so your dreams can come true for them to main event. Right? He can't come the day before. Like it can't do that. It gotta come, gotta set some things up. They gotta get together, they gotta hug, they gotta embrace, they gotta do some things, and they gotta go after the bloodline together. And therefore, if it's Sammy, if it's Cody, if it's KO against the Usos, then that third person that has to show up and my number 1 wrestler of the week that I gotta see, the Tribal Chief. So from 5 to 1, I don't even know. I can't remember.
You got Otis.
I'm gonna get Otis to the 4. Yes, okay. So 5, I said
Cody.
Otis. Yeah, Cody. I gotta see Cody because Cody, I gotta like, why you getting that ain't your business. You know what I'm saying? Like Kevin's supposed to say that, nigga. You just trying to do the right thing. Like, all right. So I gotta understand why you trying to get involved. So Cody's number 5. Otis number 4, because I gotta see if he's gonna turn on my man Chad. Because if we get Chad and Otis at WrestleMania, I'm gonna like that. I really like that. Okay. So and all this also we talking about comedy act, Mace, Monsoon, Otis, Mansoor, Otis, all as motherfucking all as male models that aren't male models. That shit is gold thing. That's
okay. It's turning the corner for you. I see you.
Yeah.
I just like seeing Maxine personally. I just saw.
Yeah. I just didn't want to see that because I ain't want to be the black brother that on March 12th, after being to my sisters, like, yeah, I want to see the white woman. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna say, I'll shout out to Otis. You know what I mean?
Hey, listen, beauty is beauty. I don't give a fuck what color it is. It works. Listen, I want to see a white woman. I want to see the black woman. I want to see the Asian woman. I want to see the woman. It's Women's History Month.
I ain't gonna hold you, nigga. Scarlett came up on TV on Friday. My wife was there. I was like, "This is what I come here for." Okay, I'm sorry. Like, I couldn't even hide it, dog.
Shout out to Carrion, man.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Carrion.
And that was good. That was a good match. Before I get into it, let me actually go with my power rankings. But finish you got yours out?
That was it. Yeah, that was 5. Yeah.
All right, shoot. Number 5, Viking Raiders, bro. They had a banger with Ricochet and
Yeah.
Braun Strowman this week,
Yeah.
and I think that they still it, man. People sleep on the Viking Raiders, and they still got
You
it. They're
know,
even
we just
better.
for me, I just don't care about that match with it, but it was good. It was good.
It was a good match, yo.
Bro,
You
I mean,
just
listen, bro, it was good. That story, I need them to do something. They came back
oh
with
my god,
Valhalla. Hold on. I'm not, listen, they are good. I'm not saying nothing. They are good. They are badass. I love that they turned heel. I love that they had banger with fucking Drew and Sheamus. But they got to beat a real babyface team for me to care. And there's no babyface teams on SmackDown.
okay.
Hit Road turn heel. Fucking. I do not give a fuck about Ricochet and Braun Strowman for that. But it was a good match. So I don't want to interrupt you. It was a good match.
No, I hear you. You know, they got a New Day. They already did the New Day thing. They were feuding with the Banger Bros. So that worked, I guess, for a little bit. But they're still a great tag team. That's why they're on my list this week because that match showed it, and I can't wait to see them get another title shot down the line. They've been simmering when they came back with the Valhalla stuff, and they haven't really done much because obviously we're hamstrung with the Bloodline stuff. There's nothing that can be done. But them versus KO and Sammy would be awesome after WrestleMania. So I got them at number 5, man.
Okay.
Number 4 is Dom and Rhea too. I fucking do that because I think them two working together. Every time he calls her mommy, every time I see Rhea, the swagger she has, it's a perfect fit, yo. And both of these two have found themselves this past year, and they are really working on all cylinders right now. So shout out to both of those two. Number 3, I gotta go with MJF, man. MJF, crazy match. Honestly, crazy press conference afterwards. If you go back and watch it, he's him. I put it that way. And there's nothing that we can say anymore about MJF. He's proven it. He's out there talking his shit. Now, still don't like the fact that he threw water on that kid. That's why he knocked down a bit this week. But other than that, the guy's operating on all cylinders, and he's presenting himself as a star. He freaking, got himself lean, ripped, and he presents himself as an AEW champion. And he's must see. He's must see for AEW. I was swapping him with Hangman Page because he's on top of the world right now. I think that after that match with Jon Moxley, he still shows that he still got it. And I'm curious to see where he goes next. I don't want to see the Blackpool Combat Club in them again. I kind of am over it. But hopefully Hangman Page, after this past week, can do something special. And number 1, I got to go with Cody. Cody coming out there, saving Sami Zayn and Raw, I think was his only saving grace.
Number 1 is my number 5. That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
No women on your top 5.
Rhea's on there.
Yeah. Okay, you're right.
Rhea's on there. But yeah, we can do a top 10 next week, and we can base it off of
we can do a top 5 next week. It ain't 10 wrestlers that I want to see. I can be honest.
Well, I'm doing it based off of like who's hot right now. Who's hot for the past couple of weeks? If you want to do it on who you want to see, that's cool. But I'm going off of who's hot based off of the last week.
So we'll do 2 separate top 5s then. Who we want to see and who's hot.
All right, there you go. So and if I want to see somebody, of course, there's plenty of women I want to see. Okay, trust me.
We can just do a top 5 on that.
You can do top 25.
Every week. Who goes down? We're gonna add it to the list of who we want to see. The most misogynistic segment of the show.
With that being said, that has been your show. All is love. Everything is wrestling. Thank you for watching Me Wrestling Podcast. We'll be back next week to talk more wrestling the week that was. Anything else you want to say?
Nah, man. Thank you guys again, man. I'm high as shit about this. Yeah, man. It's been a good show. Good night, man. We had a great show, man. Great show.
Yeah. All right, then. Shout out to Smoke Gizzard, of course.
Come on, shout out to Gizzard, bro. Sign the belt. I got Wild, I got West, I got Smoke. Now the only nigga else out of the Wolf Pack, out of the Bullet Club that gotta sign it is Wale.
Oh, you're gonna say
I get Wale to sign it, I'm putting that bitch in the case to never be touched again, my nigga.
all right, bet.
You know what I'm saying?
Wale Mania. Speaking of Wale Mania, we gotta tap in. Hope we'll see if we can make it out there. I might not be able to make it, but
We'll
it's
see.
gonna be out there in LA.
God works in mysterious ways.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, God does. So shout out to God. Help me. Listen, man. It's Sunday, March 12th. My birthday is literally Monday, March 13th, tomorrow. So
No, your
out to
birthday
me.
is. Oh yeah, because today,
Sunday,
today's
Sunday.
Sunday.
It's got to Sunday, yeah. So shout out to me, my birthday, and I'm gonna probably go take a walk or something. I mean, that's cheap. But I'm
Nigga, I gotta be a walk around the house because you go outside, you go spend some money.
it's New York, man. You know, you spend money for breathing out here. Oh, $10.
Too much money. Oh man. All right, man. Thank you, man, for staying up. I'm about to go tap in with the fam and be a dad.
All right, peace, guys.
Peace.